All right, guys, here's your intro video to integration by parts, IBP. And basically what it is, it's a way to reverse the product rule. Okay, so we're going to start out with a product rule. We'll just start out with, like f of x times g of x. We'll just keep it generic. Okay, so f of x times g of x. And let's take the derivative of that. So the derivative of f of x, g of x with respect to x, we've got our f prime x of x, g of x, plus, and then we'll just leave the f of x alone, g prime of x. And there's our product rule. Well, to do integration by parts, we're basically going to take this and go backwards. All right, we're going to reverse the whole process. So I just took the derivative, now I'm going to take the integral. Okay, but I got to do it to both sides. Sort of clean that up a little bit. We'll do it with respect to x, of course. And on the left-hand side, if I've got the derivative of, or I'm taking the integral of a derivative, that's essentially like fundamental theorem, right? You're just going back to where you started from. So you go back right to f of x, g of x. And before you ask, I know you're already wondering, what about the plus c? Don't worry about it, we'll get there, okay? So once you integrate that, you get f of x, g of x equals, and on the other side, we're going to go ahead and actually break this up. So we're going to break it up to the integral of f prime g with respect to x plus f g prime with respect to x. And you're probably wondering, what's the point, right? Why are we doing this? Well, we're trying to come up with a formula for doing reverse product rule. So I'm going to solve for this piece right here, and only because I know where it's supposed to go, but it doesn't really matter. It'll work any way you want, but this is the way they do it. So I'm just going to rewrite it. So that integral, f of x g prime, is actually equal to f of x times g of x minus the integral of f prime g. Okay, so I brought one over and I sort of flipped around the whole equation. All right, so that's pretty complicated, but luckily we have an easier way to kind of write this to make it a little more user-friendly, because right now this reverse product rule is not very attractive, no offense. So we're going to go ahead and substitute. We're going to let u equal the f, and we're going to let v equal the g. So then du is going to be f of x dx, I'm sorry, f prime of x dx, and dv is going to be g prime of x dx. And let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit so that the letters are a little easier to work with. Okay? So the integral of f g prime, well, f is really u, right? F is really u, and g prime dx is really dv. That's going to be equal to f times g, which is just u times v. Looks a little nicer already. Minus the integral of f prime dx, right? And that's du times g of x, which is v. So I'll put the v in front, v du. And that is the formula for integration by parts. Okay, that's actually the rule we're going to be using for our examples. Okay, so integration by parts, it started with a product rule. We went backwards, we integrated, we sort of canceled out what we did, but then we cleaned it up. And if you're wondering about the plus c, don't worry, when we get to that last integral, the plus c will come into play. Okay, but for right now, we don't need to include it yet because we didn't integrate. Okay, that's basically just the intro. I'll do an example in the next video.